My name is Dr. Megan Sandel. I've given you a full set of my remarks, but I want to stay within my 3 minutes. I'm here today to express my grave concerns about the child health impact of the new emergency shelter restrictions. I participated in a recent housing and health forum at Boston College where Gretchen Weissman from the Department of Housing and Community Development was there, and she said during that forum that the department's current policy is to encourage doubling up of families, and we're not sure what the outcome of this will be. We'll have to wait and see. I said during that forum, and I'll say today, we do know what the outcomes of those policies will be. We know from our experience here as pediatricians that we're already seeing families who are sleeping outside in between cars who are coming into our clinic with infected bug bites. Just the other day, a family with a 5-day-old infant was turned out of their denied access to emergency shelter. The overnight temperature that night was 49 degrees. So if the department's unclear about what the risk to an infant for sleeping outside is, I'm happy to provide research because it's frostbite and death. We know from our research here in Massachusetts from Children's Health Watch that many families who are doubled up move 2 or more times in a year. It's something we call severe housing insecurity. From our research, families who have severe housing insecurity have the exact same or worse health risks than those who are homeless. We know that they have high rates of poor child health, maternal health, high rates of maternal depression, increased risk for child hospitalizations, high risk of developmental delays, and severe food insecurity. Our research shows that being in a shelter is hard, but being doubled up and shifting from home to home is not a better alternative. I will just say quite simply that we are experimenting with the lives of our most vulnerable populations. We applaud the administration's investing in more affordable housing since that's the long-term solution, but to fund this at the cost of not providing life-saving access to shelter is simply experimenting with patients' lives. How many unnecessary hospitalizations will we pay for? How many fatalities will we see? How many children will suffer the lifelong developmental delays as a result of this policy? For the sake of the health of these children, I urge that families are on the verge of staying in a place not meant for human habitation, but don't force them to actually stay there before you're granted access. Families who are at risk of adverse health consequences due to the dynamic conditions of doubled up don't have to suffer an abusive attack and then report it to the police before being granted access. That pregnant women, newborns, and young children, and families members with special health care needs like asthma not have to sleep outside or in doubled up conditions that place them at risk. There's no safety net for these families right now. The department doesn't even track the number of people that are turned away for their potential health risks, such as newborns or women. I often refer to a safe, decent, affordable home as a vaccine. It keeps kids healthy. But in this case, DHCD is doing a massive experiment. It is providing the housing vaccine to a select few and barring almost anyone else who becomes homeless from accessing the care that they need. No medical ethics committee of any hospital would ever approve of such a plan, but that is the current administration policy. Investing in affordable housing is great, but to fund it by denying access to emergency shelter for those who are not being housed by the investments is not only penny-wise but pound foolish and also immoral. Find another way to fund affordable housing expansion, but don't fund it by experimenting with the lives of the children in Massachusetts.
Yeah.